I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. It's a little mirror talk, family. It's a little mirror talk. Gotta do that. Gotta do that these days, okay? Welcome. 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 Once again to the Self Love No Rules. No Rules channel. Where everybody's welcome, family. Everybody's welcome over here. Ain't no rules. Come on in. Call everybody in, family. Call everybody in. Let them know we back on once again. And the self-love channel absolutely rules. Absolutely rules over here, family. Absolutely. Look here, fam. We got a lot to talk about today. Okay. But I'm gonna try to crunch this down a little bit because it's a little bit of a oh, by the way, we got the car version going on today, family. We still out here. We still out here in nature, but we got the car version going on here today. We got a little bit windy. I got a few notes here, so I'm gonna keep it light. We talking about a little bit of a sensitive subject, so well, one that's close to the heart, okay? And so we just gonna take our time. We gonna go through our notes a little bit and gonna be kind to ourselves. We're gonna be kind to each other. I'm gonna make sure that I get this message from the divine the way that it's meant to come across, okay? Because we're gonna be talking about broken hearts today. We're gonna be talking about being the creator of our lives. We're gonna talk about manifestations. And we'll talk about just healing. It's real genuine healing today, family, because hey, I believe that we're all going through a bit of healing, okay? And even our planet, is going through some healing, and even where Mother Nature needs to heal, she gonna do whatever it takes to get her healing on, fam. There's like, hey, there's balance in this world, and one way or the other, healing has to come and balance has to be restored, okay? That's how it goes, family. That's just how it goes. And I just want to just make something clear, fam, because listen, hey, our thoughts are really creating our world, okay? What we think about, it used to be a time where I really didn't understand what that, how deep that went. But I come to find out, family, that what you think about really creating our world, family. We really creating our world, okay? And you got to keep in mind that when we manifesting our world, when we creating our world, that we have to realize that I already am what I want to become. Okay? It's just gonna be a matter of understanding that I've already created that. I've already created that other version of myself. And it's just gonna be a matter of me releasing and letting go of that old version of myself, taking off the mask, allowing that newer version, the version that I've already created within my mind and within my heart to reveal itself. Okay? I mean, the new me is basically is here right now. But the thing is, our ego self that wants to protect ourselves, it tries to keep that mask on us. It wants to try to keep us, afraid of this or that, not having real confidence, not having courage to face the realities of life, things that we've been going through, maybe breakups or whatever. It tries to keep us in this old version of ourselves, and if we use the power of our mind, if we want to use that ego mind, we want to use it, okay? Instead of letting it abuse us, so to speak. We want to use it to work with our heart. And we want to embrace that new version of ourselves. That's going to create that alignment. That's going to create that balance that we need within our lives, to be able to have that peace, to have that peace in our lives. Otherwise, it's going to be a whole bunch of chaos, family. It's going to be a whole bunch of, misunderstandings, illusions about what we think somebody else is thinking, what we think, what we even may be thinking that we're thinking. Because sometimes, like, hey, look, fam, like I told y'all, the ego really, it'll try to gaslight us, fam. Look, I'm using my life as an example, and allowing you all really to kind of see, based on my experiences and what I've been going through, to understand what the potentials are. I was willing to lay it all on the line, and literally and come online and allow my ego to be exposed to the world, to be able to see, to show the world what what stunts it tries to pull, and how we can evolve from all of it. And listen, fam, look, we at the end of the day, this is a school of life, and life will create a way, one way or the other, for balance to be restored in our lives. All right. Hey, look, it'll come at us the easy way, or it could come at us the hard way. Okay. And hey, take it from me, fam. And if it come at you the hard way, it's going to create all kind of storms, all kind of trouble in your relationships, all kind of this and that or whatever, to get us to make that change, to get us to see who we really are, to, address those childhood traumas, to address all these layers that we put up, address this wall that we put up. Life is going to provide a way to create balance in our lives, one way or the other. Okay, that's how it goes, fam. Hey, whether we want to believe it or not, don't take my word for it, fam. Just take a look at what's going on in this world right now. Okay. Hey, one way or the other is gonna cause all kind of chaos to get us to look to transform, to start looking for answers, to bring that peace within our lives. Because listen, fam, hey, chaos cannot rule forever. Okay, it has to return home. There's a circle of life. There has to be a balance. And life's gonna provide that way. It's gonna provide that way. So, at the end of the day, fam, like I say, when we want to have that real healing, we got to realize that our ego is not going to be our enemies. We don't want to make our ego the enemy. We want to work with the ego and understand that ego is how we navigate in this world. It's how it's another form of how we, manifest in this physical world. So we want to work with the ego. When we come up with all these things that the ego is trying, we want to look at it as a lesson. How can we address this situation at any given time, okay? And we got to understand that at times it's going to be like this, fam. You know, when I told you about that ego being in rehab, you know, you got to understand the ego is going to, hey, it's going to try to, it may try to sneak out the, it may try to get, it may try to sneak out the window, it may try to go out the back door this way while you ain't looking. You know what I mean? Sneak out and come and take off, okay? You know, and try to come out, try to come back around the corner and come at you another way, okay, fam? So we gotta be very aware of how that ego tries to, you know, it tries to get out of rehab, okay? It'll come out and try to gaslight you and start talking about, hey, look, I'm okay. You know, I'm doing better now, and look, it's not me anymore. Look, it's that person. Is, you know, it's because of them and this and that, whatever. It'll try to come out all kind of ways, fam. So we got to really understand it if our peace is being disturbed, okay? And that's and like we talked about those red flags and how to really avoid, you know, letting the ego mind just take over, okay? We wanted anything to come and start knocking on the door, disturbing that peace. You know, we want to be on top of that, fam. So we gotta understand that the heart immediately is gonna begin this process when the ego start doing that. Because at the end of the day, when you get a negative vibe, you know, you're gonna get negative energy. If you if you're getting a positive vibe, you're gonna get positive energy. So right away, the heart should want to kick in at that particular time and not override that, but it wants to really, you know, like I said before, fam, when you start getting those kind of things, you don't want to just run away from, you don't just want to run away from that feeling. You want to sit right there for a minute and process it and try to and understand, dissect it. Try to look at why is it here? Why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling like, oh, well, you know, I'm not good enough and, you know, I need to do this and I need to go and get myself together before I go and talk to this person and this and that, whatever. I'm feeling like I'm not good enough, or you know, I need to get this right and this and that, whatever. Look, I get all of that, fam. I get all that, but like, understand why. Try to look at why we going through those type of feelings, okay? Because you got to understand, a lot of that is going to be based off a lot of fears. A lot of that's going to be based off a lot of insecurities. A lot of that's going to be based off our childhood, you know, stuff that we had going through our childhoods, stuff society may have taught us, stuff schools may have taught us, you know what I mean, about just being insecure with ourselves. You know, and even in our relationships, you know, we may have these separations or breakups or whatever it is. And a lot of times it's not even really the other person. It's really just us going through our own insecurities, you know what I mean? And then, you know, you got two people that's got baggage, and then they're trying to keep things. They're trying to, you know, figure out what's going on, when it could have just been a matter of just really looking at ourselves and addressing those things from our heart and really coming together and realizing what may have been going on. Okay, so we want to take a step back. We want to take a look at it, take a look at what's going on, and realize what's really happening in that particular time. All right, and you know, once we figure that out, we understand that look that when the heart kicks in and starts this process, it's going to shine some light. It's going to shine some light of love. It's going, you know, it's not really. We're not talking about trying to cover up that stuff that's going on, fam. We're not talking about running away, going to party and acting like everything is everything. You know, I mean, we try to mask what's going on. Like I said, just sit there, and the heart is going to really start to process what's going on. You know, and the heart is going to have compassion. Okay, it's going to have compassion for what the ego is going through at the time, or what we're going through. It's going to have understanding. You know, what we want to do is we want to be kind to the ego, because the thing is, the ego is going to feel, we're going to feel misunderstood. We're going to feel like the other person don't understand us. We don't even understand ourselves, fam. And see, look, in my situation, you know, in my life, I come to the realization, fam, that I really don't need anybody else to understand me anymore, family. You know what I mean? Because as I started to love myself, I started to understand a lot more about myself. So it helps me actually understand others a lot more. It helps me understand my planet. It helps me understand the animals. Okay, it helps me understand just the birds. It's helping me understand my connection to everything. Okay, when you start to understand yourself, you really don't need anybody else to understand you. That, and that's the power of loving yourself, and the power of having that peace within yourself. Because you're really not looking for anybody to try to figure you out. We try to get people to figure us out, and we haven't even figured out our own self. So that's a real big thing in our society today, family. So, and like, look, we got to be kind with that ego. You know what I mean? Because the ego is going to have remorse. It's going to have regrets. It's going to have sadness. And the thing is, as we start to love ourselves, the world may start to get a little bit lonely, because the thing is, there's going to be others that are really not loving themselves. And so we're really not going to gel with too much with the people that's really not loving themselves. So our foundations are really going to kind of change a little bit or whatever like that. We're going to start feeling a little bit lonely in the world. You know what I mean? Because we feel like we can't really connect with other people that is not really feeling the same way that we're feeling. But the thing is, you're going to eventually find those and connect with those other people that are going to be loving themselves, and you're going to realize that you wasn't alone. You actually wasn't alone. Okay. And so the thing is, like I said, we want to be kind to the ego. All right. Whatever you got to do in that particular point in time, fam. If you got to cry about it, you got to laugh about it, whatever it is. Eventually, it's gonna pass, and you're gonna get to a state of calmness. You're gonna get to a place where you become more balanced right now. Okay, because you're starting to realize, hey, this is, there was no real reason for me to, get into that type of frame of mind. You know what I mean? That's just something that the ego really trying to have is fix. Okay, and so we're gonna thank the ego, and we're gonna happily, escort it out the door. We're gonna happily escort that energy and that frame of thought outside the door. Okay, we developed a tool. We developed some knowledge to be able to notice that thought next time it come around. Or we come up with it out. We like I said, we may be in a relationship. Just as an example, we may be in a relationship, and we may want to go and talk to somebody, but feel like, we don't we're not good enough for that person at this time, or that person may not, is this and that, whatever. So we'll start coming up with all these scenarios to talk ourselves out of it. And that's how the ego, it'll do. It'll try to gaslight you and try to talk you out of your courage. It'll try to talk you out of your confidence. This is what we're talking about right here, family, because a lot of these things, we're creating these stories, we're creating all of these fears based on other fears. Okay, that's why we're trying to get to that place of love for ourselves, so we can have that peace, so we can now relate more in these conversations. We can now understand what's going on, and being able to converse with each other without being on the defense, without needing to be offensive. Starting to listen more, starting to just have compassion for the other person, because we have compassion for ourselves. Okay, and like I said, fam, these are tools that we're getting. These are tools that we're getting, to help us address what's going on with the ego, and that's a very big thing right now, fam. Because, not having the tools, it puts us in a handicap space, and so we have like the heart is, and the higher self is now beginning to create our world from a place of peace, balance, the mind and the heart. The ego is in check now. Okay, so we listen to the higher self. We get more balance, and the ego is no longer getting its fix, like I said. So, and as I'm looking at my notes right here, fam, it says that you look at the difference. You look at the difference between the ego and the heart. When you got that self-love, you have that power. You have that peace. That's that power that we have. Okay, And we could decide between having that peace or being at war with ourselves. We could decide to have the self-worth, or we could decide to self-criticize ourselves, okay? We can feel safe, or we could feel threatened by someone. We could feel somebody's attacking. We can attack our own selves. We could surrender, or we could feel, like we done lost control of things. Okay, we could feel like we're in our flow, or we could feel like we're being resistant to life. All right, we could feel like we're creating our own world, or we could want to try to blame others. We could feel, we could take inspired action, or we could feel like we just need to do this, or we need to do that. We need to do that. That's we in that ego mind. That's how things get, fam. We feel like we gotta do this and do that and do that, whatever. But when you in your heart, you're relaxed. You're in a relaxed state, and anytime that you want to make a move, it's gonna be inspired. You're gonna be within your flow. Okay, life becomes a lot easy, or we could feel like we got no way out. Okay, so that peace with myself, fam, it gives me that connection to the divine. It gives me, I feel like I'm in my heart. I feel like, I'm patient with myself, and it helps me practice being consistent. It helps me being consistent with the tools that I'm using to be able to navigate between my heart and my mind. Okay, because the thing is, the mind it just start running away with you, fam. You know what I mean? And the thing is, listen, if anybody understands that healing takes time, it's me, family. Okay, hey, this healing process, like I said before, it's gonna take a lot. It's gonna take time, family. It's not gonna be an easy thing. If anybody understands that, I understand that, fam. And like I say, hey, I had to learn patience, family. I really had to learn. I really had to learn patience. And like I say, you know, we could do this or that, and it's not, like I said, it's not gonna be easy reprogramming this ego. And the thing is, you ask yourself a question like, why would I go through all of this? Why do I really want to go through all this? You know what I mean? But like I said, fam, at the end of the day, the reason I'm going through this personally is for my peace of family, for my peace of mind. I done tried it the other way. Okay, I tried things the other way. I done lived my life in fear. I lived my life, worried about this and worried about that, and manipulating others and this and that, whatever, because of my own insecurities. I live life like that already, family. You know what I mean? I projected things on people. You know what I mean? They this and that or whatever, wanting to call somebody but not calling because I'm projecting all kind of stuff on people and everything like that. So I say, I'm gonna try something different this time. And practicing that peace, family, practicing having that peace. Why am I doing this? I'm doing this because it's provide me a way to create my world in a whole nother way, with a foundation of peace. Not building my world on a foundation of fear, but building my world on a foundation of peace. And the thing is, I could pass that peace down to my bloodline, to my children. You know what I mean? They can for generations to generation. That's generational wealth. That's what I'm building over here, fam. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing that for. And on top of that, I can, with my life, I can teach others, and I can help others come to a place of peace. The thing is, and I realize the more I help others, the more I'm helping myself. You see? And this is what I'm talking about, fam. And that's what we're doing over here. And that's what we're doing over here on this channel, family. Because, and what I have learned, family, in being the creator, is that, listen, the divine. When I talk about the divine, okay, the divine in me, everybody has their own universe. When I talk about the divine in me, the divine can be whatever it is that you want it to be. It's not going. Listen, it's not, divine is not a narrative. It's not anything. It needs to be this way or that way or that's not whatever. That's not what we're doing over here, fam. The divine is whatever you say it is. You are the co-creator with the divine within yourself. Okay, because at the end of the day, it's your awareness of yourself. It's not mine. So and when we're talking about, meditation or just kind of when we going through these different situations, when these things occur. When I say these things, I'm talking about like, if we have arguments, if we have, things that are going on in our lives, a situation comes up, we have this thing about, meditation, and manifesting. We have to be, this old school way that we have to be in a quiet place. We got to go off over here in the closet somewhere, whatever like that, and meditate and get ourselves together. You know what I mean? And be able to be okay for our relationships and this and that, whatever. But what came to me, fam, look, that's all fine and good. But what do I do when I'm in the heat of the moment? I may be going through something with my partner, this and that, whatever. What do I do then? Okay? And what came to me, family, is that this is a time where we need to be able to access that meditation, that meditative state. This is a time where we need to be able to access very fast how to be able to respond in those situations, how to know that we're going out of character, how to know that we're in our minds now, okay? Because it could get very tricky in the heat of it could get very tricky in the heat of battle, fam. So we got to be able to come up with these tools and be able to take ourselves and keep ourselves in a meditative in a state where we can access our higher self at will, okay? And a lot of time people tell you to go meditate, but they don't really tell you how to do that, how you get to that point, So here, this is what I want to tell you, fam. Like, there's two ways that I've come up with that can help us, okay? One way is to go into, to practice daily, go inside, daily, every day, go, meditating, going to yourself, and talking to the divine directly, being honest. You know what I mean? Being honest and coming correct and talking to the divine yourself, and so when you do get in those particular situations, you'll be able to more easily access that state, okay, and you'll be more aware of yourself at that given time. And another way is just dancing. Dancing, moving your body. You have access to the spirit world come to flesh, and the flesh goes to the spirit, whatever. Moving your body. Think about it. Exercise. A lot of that right there, it helps you draw in that light, helps you connect to spirit. Those are the two ways that I realized that for myself, that it helps me be able to respond in when things get a little bit off kilter, I would say, And so those are two ways, family, that we can, be able to realize what's going on at any particular time, okay? And so something I had wrote down here in regards to the meditative state, okay? In regards to meditation. Acquiring a meditative state in real time and stopping the outer and inner noise at once. Then we can go up or take off to the real world and draw the answers to the energy and everything else we need from there. And I wrote down our ability to identify the physical, sensory, and illusory reality, the image it projects into our mind and our heart at any given moment, and to say that it is unacceptable or suitable to us at that moment. Take off to a higher place and draw a more beautiful and perfect reality. Then we can say we made a correction, created light out of darkness. Once again, that's us being the creator, okay? And basically, to sum that up, fam, it just basically just saying that at any given time that we're able to realize that what's going on right now and what our mind is talking about or thinking about is unacceptable. And so we're going to immediately, as the creator of our worlds, correct that thought through our heart, okay? Because we immediately are able to access a higher dimension, our higher selves, and be able to respond instead of react in that situation. That's what we want to practice, fam. You know what I mean? That's what we want to practice. So when we going off into our own worlds, when we even not in these relationships or whatever it is, we want to practice meditation, dancing, exercise, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Just kind of building up that muscle, so to speak. All right. And we know, look, fam. Look, it's not gonna be that simple. It's not gonna be simple, fam. Like I say, especially in the heat of the moment, you got stress, you panic. You know what I mean? You're excited, so it's gonna be sometimes it's gonna be very difficult to remember. You know, it's going. Take it from me, fam. It's gonna be very difficult to remember at times. You know what I mean, fam? So look, it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna take practice, but that's why when you in these relationships. You want to be in a relationship with somebody that you guys are agreeing on this, and you guys are working on this stuff together, right? Because if you got two heads bumping each other, whatever like that, that's gonna be that's gonna be a real storm, fam. That's gonna be the perfect that's gonna be the perfect storm. So you really want to be able to communicate with each other, and you want to be really trusting each other. Trust that each other's not you're not gonna take advantage of each other. You really want to talk about these things, fam, because that's really important. Trust is really important in a relationship. You got to be able to, first of all, you got to be able to trust yourself. Okay, you can't ask anybody else to trust you if you don't even trust yourself. Okay, that's number one, fam. All right, so I just wanted to kind of put that out there, fam. I kind of skimmed through things a little bit today because I know it could get a little bit long, but I just want to put a few of those things out there, fam, because at the end of the day, that spiritual connection, it's gonna bring a physical connection. It's gonna help us align with our purpose. It's gonna bring healing. It's gonna help others heal. Then we're gonna be able to share those experiences with others. That's what I'm doing over here, fam. That's exactly what's happening, and that's gonna help change my world. All right. By my inner world changing, all right, family. And that's what I'm doing over here, and I'm passing that on so I can bring some light to others, and you all are gonna be able to take that to somebody else. And that's how we're going. We got to change our world. We got to do one thing different, fam. We got to do one thing different to get a different result. Okay, look, it may not seem like it's a big thing. But every little bit counts, fam. In a world like we have today, every little bit of light, in this dark times, fam, it counts. Okay, so it counts for ourselves, it counts for our inner child, it counts for our children. It's like that, fam. So we really want to be kind to ourselves. Let yourself off the hook, family. Let yourself off the hook. You know what I mean? Don't keep yourself in those prisons and you want to, look, I understand everybody wants to, do better and be better for this person, that person, whatever like that. But realize that you're beautiful and you're perfect just as you are. You know what I mean? You got to take that chance and have a little bit of courage and say, you know what? I'm going to get outside my ego and I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to call that person anyway. I'm going to contact them. I'm going to talk to them. And maybe it wasn't like I thought it was. Okay? Because like I said, fam, like even with me, I done got to the point where, I've healed a lot in my relationships, but healing is ongoing. Okay? I'm still going to have those, this and that or whatever like that. But loving myself helps me to address my triggers. Loving myself helps me to realize, it helped me, understand my previous relationships and why they went the way that they did. I don't blame anybody. I don't blame anybody in my relationships anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I don't blame myself. I let myself off the hook, and I realize that everybody gets back on the same level playing field. There may be some that's that moment has passed, but at the end of the day, it's like this, fam. Like, I'm not gonna hold no grudges. I get to decide whether or not I'm gonna be with somebody or not be with anybody, but I'm not gonna decide that based on what they did or this and that or whatever, anything like that. That's me holding a grudge. No, I'm gonna do that based on who they are right now. And if that's something that I want to really, entertain or engage in, I get to decide that or whatever, But at the end of the day, I'm not going to allow anybody to take my peace or take my power away from me by holding anything against anybody. I forgive everybody. You gotta let all of that go, fam. You gotta let all of that go, So anyway, fam, I'm gonna leave it at that for the day. you know, because when we have these broken hearts and these things are going on, fam, sing about it, laugh about it, cry about it, dance about it, write it out, do whatever you got to do to get it out, fam. We got to get it all out, okay? We got to get it all out, because at the end of the day, when we keep that stuff inside and it's not processed, it come out all kind of ways, fam. It could come all like kind of it be suffering, you know what I mean? We decide our life. We make our own decisions, laws in the universe. But I won't bow down just out of fear of my own ego or get out my own way, anybody on the chessboard, anything. Like I said, fam, we got to make sure that life is what we make it. We're not really going to just worry about work and money and responsibilities. Life is meant to be fun. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Life is meant to be appreciated. You know what I mean? Having fun like a kid again. Like I said, you can learn a lot from a kid. Okay? Can't have good without the bad. It's got to be chaos and it's got to be order, fam. That's what balance is. That's what real balance is. That's unconditional love, okay? Keep that in mind, fam. That's what unconditional love. And all these things are coming because it's supposed to come, fam. It's supposed to come. That's how we evolve. That's how we getting better and evolving and coming back home to our balance, all right? Don't take it personal, fam. Let it all go. You know what I mean? Let that go so we can move forward. Let go of those old versions of ourselves and what we used to think and what we thought about ourselves and how we keeping ourselves in these prisons. Let it all go, family. Let it all go. Smile. Believe that you're worth it. Know that you know what I mean? Everybody's worth it. And nobody's out to get you. Nobody's out to attack you. You're beautiful just as you are. You know what I mean? I love you. And love yourselves, okay, fam? Hit that like button. Subscribe, leave a comment. Hey, I love y'all. You know what I mean? I was all over the place a little bit, but the message is what it is. I wouldn't even go over anything, fam. I just wanted to kind of get that out there or whatever, because, a lot of us are right now, we're going through some real dark times, family, you know what I mean? And we got to put that light out there right now. We got to put that light of love out there, and that understanding and that compassion and that nurturing mother spirit out there right now, and understand that it may not be exactly what we thought or we think it is, family. You know what I mean? Life and unconditional love is just that. You know what I mean? It's unconditional. And balance is being restored one way or the other. Okay, so just recognize that a lot of these storms are coming just to bring you back to balance, family. Just to bring you back to your power. Okay, don't take it personal. It's just what life. That's what life is. All right. A lot of that stuff that happened to us, in our childhood traumas, life is coming so we can release all that kind of stuff, so it can bring us back to our power. All right. Just keep that in mind, family. I love y'all. Keep your head up, and I see y'all next time.